Is China the problem? For decades, the world has grown used to a certain narrative. Whenever extreme weather strikes, someone tries to pin the blame on rising economies. They ask, is China the biggest problem of all? Today, I'm not here to argue. I want to take you on a journey to see something that can't be cropped out of the picture. Something real happening on this land. This was Maosu 30 years ago. Back then, people had to cover their woks with an upside-down lid just to keep sand out of their dinner. Kids tied plastic bags to their school bags. And around that time, an American teacher named Ronald Sekowsky sent $5,000 to a Chinese farmer named Ying Yuzhen. Because of a small translation slip, she always called him Mr. Saikaosi. That money wasn't for a charity show, it was for tree seedling. It was to survive. 30 years later, what happened to Maosu? It didn't disappear. It got locked in place. Over 6 million mu of shifting sand have been stabilized. More than 80% of the desertified land is under control. These aren't just numbers. This is one of the largest land greening campaigns in human history. When Mr. Sekowsky finally reconnected with her from across the ocean, he was stunned. That's China's first answer, turning the impossible into the possible. Of course, protecting the environment is not just a tree planting contest. In Ruorgai, Sichuan, we learned to respect nature's own rules. The grassland was degrading, the wetlands shrinking. Blindly planting trees would have only sped up the collapse. So now we do something smarter. Integrated ecosystem management. Mountains, water, forests, farmlands, lakes, grasslands, and deserts, all treated as one living system. See those lattice-like willow barriers? They hold the sand and store water at the same time. The green here is a scientifically restored green. Now look here, the Taklamakan, the Sea of Death. Some Western critics like to point fingers at China for being energy hungry, but they often miss the other side. In 2025, the world's longest ecological barrier around the desert, wrapping the Taklamakan for 3,046 kilometers, was fully connected. And here's something else. China contributes about 40% of the world's new greening area, and a quarter of that comes from newly installed renewable energy capacity. So we are not just building a wall in the desert. We are building the world's largest clean energy corridor. So back to the original question. Instead of asking again and again, what has China done? Maybe ask yourself this. Faced with climate change, a test for all of the humanity, will we choose to blame each other, or will we choose to work generation after generation, like they did in Maosu? In the face of global environmental change, China doesn't need a perfect score, but we do need fairness. Because on this planet, no one is an island. We are witnesses, we are doers. What about you?